Well, hi. Today is Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. We are just a few days away from Winterfest 2025. It is going to be in Bayless Park in downtown Council Bluffs Friday evening. Now, the lighting ceremony starts at 6, but you know you're going to want to be there early, so you're in the park when that happens. And the cool part is they are getting the food truck started at 5 this year. So you can go downtown into Bayless Park, get something to eat with the family, and then get ready for a holiday event that is something very, very special in downtown Council Bluffs. When they throw the switch on those lights, it is something to see. And here's something cool this year. You can walk across the street to the west. You know where the Masonic building is? Well, we're going to be over there with a warming station. So if you get a little chilly, come on over. We've got free hot chocolate, free apple cider, pick up a cookie, and the Shriners are coming over to sing Christmas carols. It's going to be tons of fun. You'll find me out in front of the Masonic Lodge because I will be live on Facebook that night until I just get too cold and can't go anymore. That's the idea. Last time I checked the forecast, it looks like it was going to be kind of chilly, a high of 45 on Friday. So I'm sure it's going to be a warm coat kind of day, and I am looking forward to it. It's all getting started Friday at 5 o'clock. Lighting ceremony starts at 6. But in the meantime, if you're looking for a great laid-back spot with great food and even better company, you're going to want to go to the Mile Away in Council Bluffs. This family-run bar and grill is your go-to. They have mouth-watering wings, and I'm telling you, these wings are big, they're good, and have been described by me and others as some of the best in town. They also have unbeatable weekly specials and a welcoming atmosphere that feels like home. So, located just north of Council Bluffs on Old Lincoln Highway, make the drive up well before you get to Crescent. If you make it to Crescent, you've gone way too far. You'll see the Mile Away there. Stop in for lunch or dinner. Lunch is Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 2, and then they open up back at 4 for dinner, and it's just a wonderful feeling when you walk in there. The food is great. The music is great. It's all great. So it's the Mile Away on Old Lincoln Highway north of Council Bluffs. If you are in the market for a job, and you're looking for something maybe just part-time, but you'd like it to pay pretty well, there is something that is available out there, and it's through First Student, and you can be a bus driver. And to learn more about it, we are bringing in George Turner. George is with First Student, and he's a recruiter. So his job is to find bus drivers, and he brings up some really good points in today's show, and I'm looking forward to you hearing and seeing that. George is our guest today on Morning Coffee. Service Master Restore by Schmader knows it's hard to get back to normal when you've suffered serious property damage due to flooding, fire, or smoke, and you may also be left with all sorts of questions about how to get your home or business back to normal. Service Master Restore by Schmader will restore your space by offering quality commercial and residential restoration services in Council Bluffs and the surrounding area. Here's a phone number that you're going to want to save in your phone, 402-339-9911. And after a 2-year renovation, a true downtown Council Bluffs landmark is open once again. It's the Park Building. It's been fully refreshed with new finishes, updated HVAC, modern amenities, all while keeping the historic charm that makes this building so special. Office spaces are now available. How do I know that? Because I'm going in there. We're going to be in there after the 1st of December. Kyle Randy of Tail Slate Agency and I are bringing you a new facility to Council Bluffs called the Studios on Willow. You'll be able to do video recording in there. You'll be able to do podcast recording in there. A lot of creative activities will be happening, and we are looking forward to seeing you there. It is the Park Building in downtown Council Bluffs, and if you have a small business and need some office space, come join us. Come be our neighbors. We'd love to see you. And it's right there at 500 Willow in Council Bluffs. Joining us this morning, I love it anytime I have a chance to run into this guy out in the wild somewhere, and also some of the events that we're a part of, is George Turner with First Student. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, Todd. How are you?
I am very well, and excited to be able to talk to you today because we're going to talk. Usually you and I, when we get together, we're talking about your DJ stuff, we're talking about your podcast, we're talking about different things. But today, we're going to talk about your day job
Yeah.
and how it is that you are helping get kids back and forth to school safely, and everything that is involved with your job. So you work for First Student, which is a company that they're in charge of the buses, right?
Yeah. First Student, we're a private owned company, headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we're actually the nation's largest school transportation provider.
So by doing that, this is, of course, getting kids back and forth to school safely, number one priority by far. But
100%.
also, here's something else that I can tell you that I remember by school bus drivers when I was a kid, all
Yeah.
the way back to elementary school. I remember them just as much as I
That's
remember the
wild.
teachers. I remember the bus drivers. And it's, you talk often when you're, talking with somebody about whether or not the position would be right for them, about how they're going to make an impact on a child. And it's true.
100%.
It's even past that. When a kid walks out of their house or they're standing at the bus stop and they're getting on to that big, giant yellow vehicle, that's their first interaction with somebody for the day. And
Right.
it kind of sets the tone for the day.
Yeah, exactly. The school bus drivers, it's obviously a super important role. We want to make sure the kids are safe, but they have a really intricate part to play in the kids' education journey for the day. We're the first one they see in the morning, the last one they see in the evening. I also rode school buses in high school. Interesting enough, all the way through school until high school, I didn't need the school bus. But I do remember some of my bus drivers. Some of them were not as friendly, but you had just a couple of them that really made a good impression. And really, it's an opportunity to set that child on a good note for the day, or really giving them not a great interaction with the education system for the day. So we really have a really big part to play in that.
Yeah, just to let folks know that I'm not making this up. Mr. Enixon was my first school
You
bus
remember
driver.
the name.
Yeah, it was Mr. Well, also because I went to a very tiny school, so we only
Okay.
had 3 buses that left there, and
Probably knew
Mr.
all 3 drivers.
and Mr. Enixon was also the janitor at the school.
Oh, wow.
Really tall, thin guy, and was always a pleasure to be around. It's when you're in a tiny school like that, we know everybody. So, and that's why I remember him, and he lived in the same town that I lived in. So,
Okay.
yeah, they can have that impact. So, what kind of people are you looking for? What are some of the qualities that would lead you to believe that this is a person that we want at First Student?
Yeah, so just talking about the job requirements, have to be 21 or older. There's a Class B CDL required to drive the school buses, and by state law, you need to be 21 or older to operate the CDL. We're looking for people with at least 3 years of driving experience and can pass a background check, drug screen. Those are the main requirements to be considered for the position. Now, when I'm interviewing someone or having a conversation, I'm looking for obviously someone that is responsible, someone that is patient, someone that's punctual. The students,
Yeah,
well,
punctual's
students
got to
don't
be the
care.
biggest one. Yeah.
The students don't care so much, but the schools and the parents really do not appreciate when their kids are late.
Yeah. That's going to be a problem. Or, to be honest, early. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
punctuality works both directions when it comes to driving a school bus. You can't pull up to a stop 5 minutes early.
No,
You got to be there on time. You said
on time.
3 years of driving experience. What kind of driving experience?
Just having your driver's license for 3 years.
Okay. All right. So
Um,
typically at the age of 21, probably it's not a common thing that you're running into that as a hurdle. I'm guessing occasionally.
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah, occasionally, but usually people have had their license for 3 years by that point.
Yeah, sometimes I have people who just they had their license and it's expired, so obviously go and renew your license. And to clarify on the driving experience, it is you can just have your regular driver's license for 3 years, because First Student provides training. We train all our school bus drivers, whether you come in with a CDL or not. We're going to train them to manage the students on the bus, to manage the bus, how to manage our software. We do provide turn-by-turn software that's taking our drivers around the route where they need to go, the different stops to get the kids from their neighborhoods, their houses, and get them to the schools. But yeah, we provide comprehensive training. We help people get their Class B CDL with the school bus, passenger, and air brake endorsements.
All of those things are required in order to be able to do this. I know also that to encourage people to be a part of this, you offer bonuses.
Yeah, so we're talking to primarily people in Iowa right now. Our Council Bluffs base actually has a $3,000 sign-on bonus for brand new school bus drivers.
That's even without the CDL.
Without the CDL, if you have a CDL, we got an extra $1,000 for you.
4,000 for
right.
If you got that CDL already.
It's wild, man. That we have lots of incentives for people to join our team. And I'd say that we also try to remove as many barriers as we can. So we have the training. We have, I would say, some of the best training around. It really beats paying $4,000, $5,000 to go to CDL school. Mm-hmm. Actually paying people while they train for their CDL. But we also have a child ride-along program. So single parents can ride the school buses and bring their children on the bus with them. They have to be 1 year or older. But that beats out the daycare costs. You don't have to pay for childcare. You can bring your kid on the bus with you.
Wow.
That's actually one of my favorite things about working with First Student is how family oriented we are. I have 3 kids myself, and during the summer when they're out of school, I don't have to send them to daycare. They're home with me. I work from home. I'm a recruiter. Sometimes I'm out in the community. That's actually how I got connected with First Student. We did a series of parades in Omaha, and my kids loved going on the parades. We'd hand out flyers, hand out candy. Some of the best memories that we have of their younger years. We're not doing the parades too much anymore, but we still have family-oriented events. This summer we did a test drive event, and I would really love to do another one. And the area is just starting to get cold. We're in the Midwest, and you really don't know what to expect with the weather. But we did a recruiting event at our Council Bluffs base, and we allowed people to come out, tour the facility, meet our staff, and you actually got to drive the school bus around the lot without a CDL. We had trainers in the buses with them, so make sure that they're following the rules and they're safe. And it is a roped off area, so no one should be walking around there. It was very safe. Safety is our business.
Right.
But yeah, it was a great time, and that was something I brought my kids to. And sometimes we have bounce houses and toys and games and things for kids to entertain them while the parents are working. But yeah, First Student, and we're all about the family. I don't know how we got into this from talking about training.
No, it's all just a stream of consciousness. That's how this works here on the show. I had a question. I was kind of wondering if, because of our proximity, I mean, you've got Council Bluffs on one side of the river, you got Omaha on the other side of the river. Yeah. Do you have to have a driver's license in the state of which you are driving for that school?
So the CDL has, I think they're called intrastate laws that you can cross over to different states. So with the proximity, we actually have people with Nebraska CDLs that can drive in Iowa.
And probably vice versa too, right?
Yeah, I don't really see people going across the other way too much. I don't know what it is about getting people across the river, but I'm like the only one.
Well, let's see what we can do about that then. Let's say, because if we've got folks on the Iowa side and you have positions open on the Nebraska side, then maybe that would be a fit for them, right? Because there's got to be, we have countless people that have family on both sides of the river. Yeah. So it's not we invented the line. It wasn't invented, it wasn't an actual separation before the government got involved and said, okay, Iowa's here and Nebraska's there.
Sure.
So yeah, so let's see whether or not there might be a fit of going back that other direction, because I can see where that could be of value. That as positions fill in one place, maybe there's an opening somewhere else. How many hours a day is someone typically needed to fill this position?
So it's a split shift. You think about school buses. We're taking kids to school in the morning, taking them home in the evening. Usually about 4 to 6 hours in a day is just kind of a broad window, and the specific hours they really depend on what route the person's assigned to. So talking about Omaha, Council Bluffs, obviously Council Bluffs is a much smaller geographic area than driving in Omaha. And our Omaha base, we actually don't drive the bulk of the OPS contract. That's Zoom. They're the new kid in town, and they've got those all yellow buses, no black lines. It's a little scary.
Oh, George Turner throwing down some smack this morning.
Just a little bit. I mean, but they do great work too. Getting kids to and from school, that's our business, right?
Yep.
But Zoom has the OPS contract, and I think they just picked up the Miller contract. And in Omaha, we do a lot of the outside school districts. So we're in Fremont, we're in Elkhorn, Douglas County West, Papillion, La Vista, and our base is 96th and Maple. So that's kind of a far drive. Just get into the
Makes
routes.
sense. Yeah.
So they're going to get more hours. Another great thing about First Student is we do a lot of trips and charters. So our drivers aren't locked down to those 4 to 6 hours in a day. Sometimes we have drivers who are working 40 hours in a week, even earning overtime, driving for sporting events or driving youth groups to camps. I know there's certain times
could
that
be
stuff happens.
extracurricular. It could be show choir that's got a place that they have to get to, or there's a lot of different groups in the schools that have to have transportation and a bus driver to get them there. So
Exactly.
yeah, I can see where there's a lot of other options.
My favorite story to talk about for that, we actually have a base in Plattsmouth also, and she's actually a driver that helps with recruiting in Plattsmouth, Ginger. She took a charter down to Kansas City with I don't know, it's like a youth group or something, and she got paid for the time that she was driving down there. She got paid while she was there, and she actually got entry paid for her into, what is it, Adventureland is the theme park down there.
Oh, in Kansas City, it's Worlds of Fun.
Worlds of Fun. Okay.
Yeah.
I get them mixed up. I never been to either one of them. So she went to Worlds of Fun. She brought her grandson with her because child ride along. And then she paid for his entry into the park, but she got paid to take her grandson on vacation, basically.
Wow.
It doesn't always happen that way, but we have fun stuff like that happens. Touring the lights. We do a hot cocoa drive with our drivers in Council Bluffs where we get hot cocoa and drive around and look at lights, and Christmas parties and lots of fun stuff for our staff.
It sounds like a great time. How are you getting applications in? I know you talked about being out at events and talking to people, but what's the typical way if somebody wants to apply or submit a resume or however they're doing it? What is that process?
Yeah, so Indeed is by far, I think, across the country, one of the best way that people are finding jobs. Even if you're not looking for a school bus driver job, be looking on Indeed if you're looking for work. We get a lot of applications through Indeed. We get a lot of applications directly through our website. So if someone's interested in the position, I'd encourage you to go to our website, Work at First, just exactly as it's spelled out, and it's the word first, workatfirst.com. And then you can search for Omaha Council Bluffs and fill out the application right there.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm always out trying to make connections. I actually was just out at a coffee shop this past weekend, and I ran into a guy. I like asking a question. It's a good conversation starter. Asking, what do you do? And he's like, well, I'm looking for work. Okay, you ever thought about driving a school bus? No, I haven't. And I'm like, well, I actually hire school bus drivers. I can train you and get you a CDL, and just seeing how he lit up, really finding out as I like talked to him more about the position in Omaha. Our starting pay is $26 an hour. It's not bad at all for a part-time job.
Mm-hmm.
It's just under 23 in Council Bluffs. We got that bigger sign-on bonus to Council Bluffs. Obviously, that's a little hook. But dude, yeah, he's super excited, and hopefully we'll be able to hire him as a bus driver.
Yeah, workatfirst.com. That is the website. And I'm thinking, a lot of different people. I would guess farmers would be really good for this type of thing. If they're not working, through the wintertime, most of them already have their CDL.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean?
I hear that. I just don't know where to find farmers.
Well, they're all out in the country.
Right. Just pull up to the farm.
Just go out and start door knocking.
Right.
That would be awesome. We're out recruiting for work right now. That would be great. But yeah, we've got some farmers that watch this show. So
awesome.
So we'll help get the word out that way. Another way is that if you're watching right now and you have a friend that is looking to pick up some extra income, or maybe you yourself, workatfirst.com is the first step to get there, and or get a hold of me and I'll connect you to George. We'll make all that happen. I'm cool with that.
Nice. Yeah, the job, I think it would be perfect for farmers. They do their work in the morning, and then I'm assuming they have like their afternoons free. With the split shift, it allows for people to have a life outside of just working 8 hours in a day. It's really good for stay-at-home parents. I think it probably would be great for farmers, anybody that's retired, or just, you have a part-time job already, you just need some extra income. It's not a bad part-time job at all. Stay-at-home parents.
And you're the first contact for those kids in the school, and dropping them off, give them a smile, tell them how great it was to see them, and trust me, these children are going to remember you. And it's a way to actually make an impact. You wouldn't just on the surface, you think, oh, I'm driving a bus. That's not. Yeah, it is a big deal. It's a very big deal. You're an integral part to the entire educational system, getting 100%. Kids back and forth. And hey, George, so are you. You're getting people connected and getting butts in seats, as they say, and folks that have the skills to be able to drive those school buses. Yeah, you're doing it right there too. So thanks for everything that you're doing, and we hope that we get a whole slew of new applicants coming in, and you can take a look and get those positions filled, because I know that you're hiring right now.
We're always hiring until we fill our positions. That's my goal. I've been in this new role since March, and it's been a little bit of adjusting, but my goal is to be fully staffed in all my locations. And what fully staffed looks like for us is we have enough drivers to fill our routes, and then we have 10% drivers on standby so people can take time off. Somebody's out sick.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Yep. So that's also another thing. We have sub drivers that they're not assigned to specific routes, but they're able to supplement and help out where need be.
Also very, very important. He is George Turner with First Student, and that website again, workatfirst.com. Spell the word first out, and that'll get you over there where you need to get more information and be able to fill out an application. George, thanks for your time. Grateful as always. Looking forward to seeing you out there again.
Yes, sir. It's always good seeing you, Todd. Thanks for having me on the show and for spreading the word about First Student.
Morning Coffee is brought to you by Keith Jones, your Edward Jones financial advisor in Council Bluffs. Learn how he can help you reach your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com for more. Edward Jones, member SIPC. When you're feeling stuck in uncertainty, conflict, or miscommunication, The Spiral of Accountability by local author Carol Horner is your guide to breaking free from the fog that clouds decision-making and relationships. Here's the thing. This book would be a great Christmas present. How many times have you gone to Thanksgiving dinner, or you've had a Christmas dinner with family, and you've just got those people that don't know how to talk to each other, and it's just a lot of conflict? Here's a book to solve that. How about that? The Spiral of Ability by Carol Horner. you're going to want to pick up a copy. You can do it on our website, spiralofaccountability.com. It is also available on Amazon. Start your journey to a healthier, more productive team. Avela Bank has been providing Iowans with high-quality financial products and services to fit their needs since 1870. Do you need a loan? Are you starting a new business? Do you need to save money for a trip? You're looking to open a personal checking account? Avela's qualified bankers can help you with all of that and more. Visit avela.bank to learn more. Thanks again, George Turner from First Student, for joining us. Again, that website, workatfirst.com. And that is where you can put in your application, make a difference in a child's life. And also, George is such a great guy, and I'm sure that you would enjoy being part of the same team. That's going to wrap up today's show. My name's Todd Studer. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.